Yes, batten down the hatches and lock the door. Yes, it's wrestling time once more. And hi, everybody. Ed Whalen at ringside with, it'll come to me. Oh, yes, Bulldog Bob Brown. At any rate, what's on the agenda?
Well, we got a great... I'm excited about this hour, aren't you? We got Dynamite Kid. We got Davey Boy Smith. We got Bulldog Bob Brown. We got Kerry Brown. And we got the White Knights. Looked impressive last week. And we got a bunch of things that's going to happen today.
Bunch of things, yeah?
And listen, it's just a pleasure doing the play-by-play with you once again.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be right back. Here we go with the British Bruiser, Johnny Smith and Kenny Johnson. Johnson out of Lethbridge at 218 pounds. Johnny Smith at 235 from Manchester, England. David Putnam, the referee. I've got to think, although I respect how Kenny Johnson has come along, that he's in tough.
He keeps talking about Chris Benoit. What a battle that's going to be whenever it takes place. Right now, he's giving Ken Johnson just a little lesson of professional wrestling and showing Johnson what wrestling's all about.
Okay. He keeps shouting, tell Benoit I'm coming, I'm coming for Benoit.
Where did you go?
I just went to have a little chat with the weasel, but he ran away.
Well, I don't blame him, you know. Listen, you're a madman at times. Why did you...
Me?
Why did you get
Talk about a madman. There you saw him just a second ago.
Why did you get in the ring with him?
He is really ridiculous. Oh, talk about obnoxious. Meanwhile, back in the ring, I'm afraid that Kenny Johnson has taken on too much.
Kenny Johnson is not going to know what daylight is all about. He's been in the dark when he walked in this ring, and when he leaves this ring, he'll be in the dark. I'll tell you, that British Bruiser, Johnny Smith, is looking better every week since he served that 4-week suspension. Don't you think the Weasel's got beautiful clothes on tonight? My beautiful.
Totally elegant. Totally elegant. He loves you, too.
He's a great competitor.
Watch it now. I talked about the progress that Johnson has made, but he's up against terrific experience and a somewhat bigger man. David Putnam saying, break it. And he broke it at 4.
You know, they talk about the dogfight of the decade. Let me remind you something. The other big battle is going to be the dogfight, too, you know. When that Benoit and that Johnny Smith tangle. Hey, that's no love affair either.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Don't you, Jim? I'll tell you, I can't help but think of all the thousands of people that's going to flock to the Calgary Corral to see that match. I just can't wait. And do you know, I'm even on that big card. So that's going to round out a super card.
Coming up on the 21st. Small package. Oh, he surprised Smith, and Smith is annoyed. You know what surprises me? That in this territory, oh no, that Davey Boy Smith has not been all over his brother Johnny.
You see now, he comes over and he knows, he says, make sure Chris Benoit gets a videotape of this. This kid here has tried everything in the book to get one on Johnny Smith, and everything has backfired. This guy is really up for Benoit.
Boy, that's all he can talk about. Watch it now. Here comes the big splash. And it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3. Well, it was 4 minutes exactly.
Well, all I can tell you is, this was a great match. I'll tell you the truth. The reason why I say great is that Ken Johnson had tried everything for 5 minutes, and everything has backfired. And along comes Johnny Smith. He says, please send me a videotape of this so I can give it to Benoit. What do you think, James?
Well, I think that obviously it was total domination by the British bruiser, Johnny Smith. He had no trouble with a young man named Kenny Johnson, but Chris Benoit is another story. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Let's go to Ed Whalen in the ring.
Seems to me you've got a two-word vocabulary lately. The first word is Chris, the second word is Benoit.
That's completely right, Mr. Whalen. I can't sleep at night. When I lie in bed at night, I lay awake because I'm thinking of Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit, when you stole, and I mean you stole that title away from me, you never stepped back in the squared circle with the British bruiser. But I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I'm not going to cry about anything because I'm too tough and I'm indestructible. Chris Benoit, you did me a favor. You got me suspended, and my manager, Abu Rizal, took the best care possible he could of me. I've been in the gym. Look at his chest and look at these arms, Chris Benoit. And I'm coming down at 225. It's going to come down. I don't care where it is. I don't care when it happens, Chris Benoit. You can run, but you can't hide. And you can't keep a good man down. You better sleep with that belt, Chris Benoit, and nurse it like a baby. Because one of these days you're going to climb in the squared circle with the British bruiser. You're going to look in my eyes, and you're going to see defeat. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and say goodnight to Chris Benoit, and I will wear that belt. And if there's anything left of that scumbag Davey Boy Smith after the brilliant Dynamite Kid gets through with him...
How can you say he's a scumbag? He's your brother.
He's a scumbag, Mr. Whalen. You saw with your own eyes he ambushed the Dynamite Kid with a bamboo stick. If there's anything left of you after Dynamite gets through with you, Davey Boy, I'll be more than happy to rip you limb from limb.
All right.
Come and get me.
All right, your guy...
I'm coming for you, Benoit. I'm coming.
Right.
I'm your worst nightmare, and I'm coming head on.
Your guy is a little confident.
Oh, Johnny, he best dynamite. We wait for Benoit. Davy Boy, they're nothing. Nothing.
Huh?
I beat Chris
Nothing.
Benoit.
Okay. That's as articulate as he gets. Here's Jim Davies.
We're here with two solid wrestlers, Len Crazy Blood and Ron Ritchie, the former People's Champion. Ron, you got a big bout coming up on this card against the Dynamite Kid.
You know, Jim, I'm psyching myself up. You know, I'm getting myself ready mentally for one of the toughest matches in my career. The Dynamite Kid, a man who, in my books, is a legend. A man that takes a backseat to nobody, who has earned his reputation, Jim, the hard way. But I'm going to tell you, Dynamite, what you did to Davey Boy Kid, you turned your back on him. You turned your back on the people. I'm going to promise you one thing, kid. I'm not turning my back on these people. And I'll tell you, when it's all over, when the smoke is cleared, you're going to find out, Dynamite Kid, why they call Ron Ritchie the People's Champion.
Ron, a class act. Len Crazy Blood, you've been in the territory now for a while. Your impressions?
Yes, I'm very happy to be back in Calgary here. Everybody knows that Ron Ritchie here is part native. And I'm looking forward to wrestling with him in the future. And I'm looking for the Indian people support all over northern Alberta, northern Saskatchewan, Montana, Manitoba, wherever we go. You know, I'd like to say a few words in my Cree language to my people. Tiningin tohtoy, tiningin mi na inap miya. Modam stay nuhit ananos. Kaya hinanas kumit na. Kaya.
What did that mean?
I just thank the people for watching Stampede Wrestling and for supporting Stampede Wrestling and to come out wherever we are.
Well, thank you very much, Len Crazy Blood, Ron Ritchie. We'll be right back with more wrestling action right after this.
You've got a look of incredible determination, yet I see you near the dressing room and you're meditating and you're muttering a lot. Have you got a problem?
You darn right I got a problem. I am a great big man with a great big problem. And I'll tell you what that problem is. You see, I've been watching tapes of this guy, this Jason the Terrible. I've been watching tapes, and you beat on this guy, you beat on him, you beat on him, you beat on him. Just when you think you got him down, he sits up. So you're darn right I got a problem. I am facing a man who has the brain power of a houseplant. Now, he's got himself this little toadstool. He's like a little monkey on a banana tree, who calls himself his manager, Zhivago. Hey, that guy's along for a free ride. If I've ever seen a phony, that's a phony. You can take my word on that. There's only one person that has the key to Jason the Terrible. And I know where to find that person. I'm gonna find that person, and I'm gonna get it done. Because how can you beat a man who just keeps getting up? No matter what you do to him, no matter what you say, he doesn't understand. You beat him up, he sits up. You beat him up. Well.
What are you rapping off of the gums about now? There's only one person that knows Jason the Terrible, and that's me.
That right?
And that you know that I'm the only man around that knows who Jason
you are
is.
a
And what's
phony
happening.
baloney, buddy. Hey, what you are is on for a free ride. Hey, I can't believe that you had the nerve to come out here with that big brain-dead idiot of yours, come out without him. But as long as you're here, why don't you try a little bit of the Angel of Death on for size?
Right now? All right. Oh!
Well, I guess it's gonna be right now. I better get out of here. I'm gonna be in the fight. That was an interview. What happened? All of a sudden, we got a fight. You're laughing.
Well, Dr. Zhivago's so stupid. He came in here and he says, maybe you want a piece of me. And the big Angel of Death looks at him and says, you gotta be kidding. So here, we got an extra match. It could only happen on the greatest wrestling card in the world, Stampede Wrestling. We're gonna have another card. And the Angel of Death is gonna get an easy victory.
Well, I got to admit, it's a mismatch.
Well, it's a mismatch. You probably think it'd be the greatest thing that ever happened to wrestling. But let me remind you, Ed Whalen, the Angel is going to do a number now on Dr. Zhivago, and he's going to be sorry that he ever stuck his nose in his business. And the only thing that could help him if that backstabbing Jason appears. I don't think that, because the security guards are watching him today with an evil eye.
With an evil eye?
Yeah. They've been warned to be on the lookout for Jason.
Okay. Between Jason the Terrible and all of the talk about the Zodiac, I'm beginning to think we're getting close to woo-woo land here. Woo-woo land. Weirdsville.
Woo-woo.
Well, I can tell you that right now, the only resident of woo-woo land is our friend Dr. Drago Zhivago. It says airborne on the back of his wrestling tights, and he's spent most of this bout being airborne, courtesy of the Angel of Death.
Well, you notice all those things, don't you?
Very observant. He's a journalist. He's a journalist.
He's a great writer also. Never writes nothing good about me, oh.
Never writes anything about you. And that's good. That is good. Okay. Zhivago, I can't believe, you see, the Angel of Death was to have fought Kim Shaw. Zhivago stuck his nose in there, and lo and behold, Zhivago is getting pounded. Here comes the claw. The Angel is going to get rid of him.
Like I said earlier, this is an exciting time for me. To be along with you and Jim, and to watch Davey Boy here today, the Dynamite Kid, Johnny Smith. It's a great thing, and we end up looking at Bulldog Bob Brown at his finest. What a way to finish a TV card. It can only happen here.
Well, look at this. He's gone. He's gonzo. However, the Angel does not want to quit. Jurgen Herman is begging him to quit, and he will not. And he just keeps applying the pressure to Zhivago. He ignores the bell. He ignores the referee. Why don't you go in there and take him off?
Well, I don't want to bother him. He's got the claw. Listen, I didn't stick my nose in there. Dr. Zhivago did. Whatever he gets is coming to him. I hope he puts him away for a long time. Mind your own business, Dr. Zhivago.
Well, I guess you're enjoying every minute, and the claw hold is applied to the head of Zhivago. And finally, you had to know Jason would arrive on the scene. Here he is. Automatic.
Yeah, but you like that now. You and Jim like this now. Oh, yeah, but if it was somebody else, you don't think it's a good idea.
No, he shouldn't have been in there, but the other guy should have broken the hole. House cleaning time. And Jason the Terrible coming to the aid of his manager. gets rid of the big man. The big man coming in, however, goes after Jason, the angel of death. Determination personified. He keeps hammering away. And boy, there is no love lost between Jason and the angel. Watch this. Oh, no, caught him right in the jaw, and Angel gets out of there. Goldie Rogers in the ring. He awaits the arrival of Davy Boy Smith. Here he comes. Boy, what a hero this man is. Strides to the ring. In he comes. That is one good-looking athlete.
Well, he's got tremendous ability in all sporting fields, you know. He didn't only make it great in wrestling, you know, he was a great boxer, too. I tell you, every time I look at Davy Boy Smith, I can't help but think, why did he want to break up with Dynamite Kid? You know, they're a great team. Why would he want to go and hit Dynamite Kid with a stick?
Because you did.
I did?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this man is fibbing. Fibbing. I can't believe you do that on television. It was Bulldog Bob Brown who broke up the Bulldogs, the British Bulldogs. Okay, the rules being explained here.
And I'll tell you what, it'll be Dynamite Kid. It'll break the hearts of many, many thousand idols of Davy Boy Smith when they meet in the corral of the biggest dog fight of the decade. I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there?
I'm going to wrestle that night.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. At any rate, it's on the 21st, dog fight of the decade, and I'll tell you.
I might even referee that match.
You might referee?
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks. Thanks a lot. No thanks.
No?
No. Forget it. David Putnam looking things over. In the early going, Goldie Rogers showing pretty strongly. Out goes Goldie. Got to have a little timeout. We can't exactly give him a commercial break, but there you go.
One thing about it, you know, Davy Boy Smith, he knows that this match here is a big lead-up match to Dynamite Kid. But then again, he better not for 1 minute take Goldie Rogers slightly. Because if he does, Davy Boy Smith will make the biggest mistake of his life. And you know that, Ed.
I'm sorry, but I can't see him losing.
Who's that?
Davy Boy.
You are
He
sorry.
can't get beaten by Goldie.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
You are sorry, too. Biff Wellington and Chris Benoit lost the tag team belts. You're still moaning over that, along with Jim Davis.
Jim is... Pardon?
Both of you are still in mourning.
Well, I don't think we're moaning. We're just noting that it was an extreme injustice. The fact that you and your son, Kerry the Pitbull Brown, were able to take those belts away. It wasn't fair and square. We all know that. And we also know you won't hang on to those belts very long.
What makes you think that there's anybody around that could beat us, Jim?
Common sense.
Common sense? Is there anything that you guys could say nice about me?
Oh, just a minute. I've got to talk about Davy Boy. Look at that power. Look at that power. Whoops. Boy, has he got strength. He's going to give him a shot here with a power slam. 1, 2. Took him no time at all. Took him absolutely no time at all. He only went about 2 minutes, 45 seconds. That's all.
You sure pick your winners, don't you? You sure pick your talent. Why don't you get in there with Kerry Brown or myself and show us what you're made of?
Right now.
Let's go.
Well, Bulldog says let's go right now. Why do I think that he might not do it, Jim?
Well, he said, okay, let's go. And then he went. Bulldog Bob Brown searched for the nearest exit. He is gonzo.
Well, I don't know if he's going to get help or whether he's indeed looking for Kerry Brown to come into the ring, but Davy Boy Smith is leaving, so I kind of think that Mr. Brown has vacated the premises.
Well, if he was to take on Davy Boy Smith inside the ring, he's even stupider than we thought. Well, Davy Boy Smith, you made very quick work of Goldie Rogers. It was a 1, 2, 3 in less than 3 minutes. Didn't surprise anybody. What did surprise some of the onlookers is that Bulldog Bob Brown challenged you to get in the ring. You got right in the ring, and he, of course, headed for the hills. Does that surprise you?
Well, that doesn't surprise me one bit, Jim Davis. Every time Bob Brown says something, he never can back up his mouth. Well, let me tell you something, Bob Brown. You was the one who hit Dynamite Kid over the head with that stick. You saw it, all the people saw it, Jim Davis.
That's right.
No, I told everybody in TV land, I'm telling everybody right now, the Dynamite Kid signed that contract. You was there, you was the witness. Ed Whalen was the witness. And you saw tonight, I demolished Goldie Rogers in 2 minutes. Before I demolished him, I was screaming for the Dynamite Kid. But the Dynamite Kid was nowhere to be seen, Jim Davis. But pretty soon, somewhere down the line, maybe on the 21st, he's going to have to step in the ring with Davy Boy Smith. I don't want a tag team match right now with Johnny Smith or Chris Benoit. I want to see who the best one is out of the British Bulldogs. It's either me or the Dynamite Kid. And I'm not going to get pushed out of Calgary Stampede Wrestling for the Dynamite Kid. So that only leaves one thing, Jim Davis. That means that I've got to get rid of the Dynamite Kid. That means I've got to get rid of Johnny Smith. And me and Chris Benoit will do it.
Okay, one thing that surprised a lot of people who watched the signing of the contract, you were willing to sign it right away. You did sign it virtually right away. He called you all kinds of names, hummed and hawed about signing it. Eventually he signed it, but it was only after a lot of stalling. It doesn't seem like he's very anxious to get involved with you in that dogfight of the decade.
Well, you know, Jim Davis, you see him humming and hawing. He didn't want to sign the contract. He said he's so superior than me. He's a better wrestler than me. He can do anything better than me. If he's so much better than me, Jim Davis, how come he won't sign that dotted line? But he knew if he didn't sign that dotted line, that all these fans know that he'd be a chicken. So he signed it, and somewhere along the line did Jim Davis. Me and the Dynamite Kid have got to face each other. I didn't want this day to come to Jim Davis, and neither did he. That's why he didn't want to sign that contract. But Dynamite Kid, it's been signed, sealed, and it's been delivered to Stuart. The name of the date is on that contract. So you get in that gym, Dynamite Kid. I've been training 7 days a week at BJ's gym. I've been training so hard, Jim Davis. Tomorrow I might even take a day off and go and get myself a big ice cream cone at BJ's Sweet 16 ice cream stand.
Well, you deserve an ice cream cone.
Jim Davis.
Okay, Davy Boy Smith, we're all looking forward to the dogfight of the decade, and let's go down to ringside with Ed Whalen.
Now it's at this point I'm going to apologize to my television audience. The only plane I can catch to Victoria leaves shortly. I'm going to leave Jim Davies in charge of the show. I'm getting out of here, and you looked like you were getting out of here a moment ago. Davy Boy Smith gave you an invitation into the ring. You ran to the dressing room.
No, I didn't really run to the dressing room. Listen, I haven't got time to play games with Davy Boy Smith. My main concern about this whole situation is what happened to Bruce Hart. Well, let me ask you a question. When you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. Now, you know Bruce Hart is probably a great individual. He's probably a great athlete. He probably knows a lot about wrestling. But let me remind you something about the Harts. All the Harts are on downhill. What do you mean downhill? They're finished. And Bruce Hart...
Somehow, I doubt that.
Yeah, listen, we wanted to put Bruce Hart out of commission, and we did. And we can thank Yellowknife Northwest Territories for the place to be able. But listen, let me finish. Now, this guy here, you look at him now, he has the best. He's had the best over the years. He had me as his father. I brought him all the way up. And let me remind you something else. He had the best trainer, Rupert Collins, Dr. Jerry Graham. Yeah, He's had the best.
All right. Well, you seem to get a little annoyed by the fans here.
Ed, I do not listen to these illiterate morons for the simple reason every one of them in this audience probably got a hamster and a wheel up there for a brain. But let me tell you one thing. Going back through the generations, there's only been one other father and son tag team duo, and that was Larry Henning and Kurt Henning. And now we are going to carry on the father and son duo for as long as it takes before you realize that it is an honor and privilege for you to stand in our company, Ed.
And don't you forget it.
Ed, we
Don't
love
forget
you, Ed. We love you.
I don't need the big embrace, okay?
Well, you do like us.
Yeah, sure. I'm
You
crazy.
go to bed
I'm
at night dreaming of us.
absolutely
Don't you
crazy
think
about
so?
you.
Hey, aren't
The
you?
show-
Hey, don't
Raise your hand to him, Whalen.
The show resumes in just a moment.
Any truth to the rumor you're getting
Get
Bob
out of
Brown's
there.
name tattooed
Forget
on
it.
your arm?
Bob Brown tattooed on my arm. Well,
Well, this should be an interesting bout. Tag team action. The White Knights. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, Lieutenant James Earl Wright, both weighing in at 230 pounds apiece from Atlanta, Georgia. They say they're Atlanta's finest. They're going up against Sumohara from Sapporo, Japan, who tips the Toledos at 223, and his partner, Len Crazy Horse, from Assiniboia, Saskatchewan at 224. Referee Jurgen Herman, the timekeeper Bill Hunt rings the bell. We should be underway any moment. Those White Knights had an impressive debut. They are undefeated. They are 1 for 1. And once again, they are taking charge of things immediately in the ring. What do you think of these White Knights, Bulldog Bob?
Well, you know, I watched them last week for the first time. They looked pretty impressive. They come a long way from Georgia. They had a long drive, but they did look good. And now they got a couple weeks underneath their belt, and you're going to see a lot more. Right now, I'm seeing more offense than I did last week.
Okay, the man in the ring right now is Lieutenant James Earl Wright, and he is going after the throat of Len Crazy Horse. He's being cautioned by the referee. These White Knights play it hard, and they play it tough. There's the big suplex. Len Crazy Horse taking quite a beating.
I noticed in the wrestling body press that they're here for one purpose. That's to get the international tag team belts. Well, let me remind you something, Mr. Jim, that Kerry Brown and Bulldog Bob Brown are the champions, and we're not just going to hand them to them. If they want them, they got to come and beat us.
I'd like to see that bout. Perhaps they'll bring their billy clubs in the ring with them.
Wow, you and Ed Whalen would like that.
I don't know. Actually, we're a little more humane than that. We would not like that.
We're talking about offense and explosive. What about the match coming up? Davey Boyce, Dynamite Kid, and that Ron Ritchie. Boy, what an explosive thing that's going to be. Talking to Ron Ritchie earlier, he said, Bulldog, I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And boy, he set him out for it.
That should be a great bout. But Dynamite Kid is at the top of his form. It'll be a tough bout for Ron Ritchie, a very tough assignment. And right now, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker was in a little trouble, but he got right out of it with a suplex on Sumohara, 2 count, just a 2 count. But these White Knights, they are quick.
Well, they're quick. They know what each other's doing. They've tag teamed before down south. Hey, made mincemeat out of a lot of wrestlers down south. They're coming up here for a purpose. They want to beat up people, and what the heck? I give them credit. They can beat them up fine. I'm for it.
The big body slam. And it's the Lieutenant, James Earl Wright, taking charge in that ring. Sumohara absorbing some punishment. And there's the quick tag. These White Knights, I understand they have worked together for quite some time. They make the quick tags, which is an essential element, as you know, of tag team action.
Yeah, you got to keep a fresh person in there every minute. If you got a chance to tag, go in there and tag. That's why me and Kerry are so successful. When I get when I get in trouble, I tag him right away. When he gets in trouble, hey, but we haven't been in trouble lately. All we've been doing is winning the big matches.
Do your lips get sore, Bulldog?
Well, once in a while.
From blowing your own horn? Jeez. Into the ring comes Lieutenant James Earl Wright. There was no tag there, and it's the Sergeant, Buddy Lee Parker. going after Land Crazy Horse. There was no tag, and they got a yellow card for that. The referee was able to spot that. Jürgen Hermann, sometimes criticized for not having the sharpest eyes of any referee in this territory, but he came through pretty well right there.
You know, he reminds me of a lot of Wayne Hart. They're always really quick to pull out those yellow cards. And yet, when I look at the new official from the United States of America, I don't think I saw one yellow card in 3 or 4 weeks. Does that tell you something, that this young David Putnam can handle himself in the ring?
Or maybe he's just slack about handing out the yellow cards. It's both the White Knights. They're double teaming on Len Crazy Horse. And right now it's Lieutenant James Earl Wright.
Why don't you tell the people what happened just about 10 minutes ago, why Ed Whalen's not here? Ed Whalen got slapped by the Weasel.
That's not true. Ed had other commitments. I know you're going to spread that lie about him being slapped by the Weasel. Not so.
Well, that's just what I saw.
Believe me, if the Weasel had slapped Ed Whalen, he'd be pushing up daisies right now. Len Crazy Horse is outside on the concrete, and it's Lieutenant James Earl Wright working him over outside the ring. Referee Jürgen Hermann is distracted inside the ring. But I don't know. I don't think that Len Crazy Horse is going to be able to take much more of this.
Well, he just took a slam on the cement floor. And you know who I'm really concerned with, Jim? We haven't mentioned in this hour, you know, is the condition of Bruce Hart. Now, of course, you know, he got hurt at the hands of Bulldog Bob Brown and Kerry Brown in the Northwest Territories, and we give it to him good. And they tell me that he may be out for a long time.
Bruce has a lot of courage. If he is injured, he will come back. Look at Sumo Hera going to town. He is making mincemeat out of the White Knights, and the crowd is loving it. Off those ropes. Oh, that big karate kick. And down on the canvas is Wright. He's down again. Sumo Hera. Oh! He missed his man and got thrown out right onto the concrete.
Of all the Japanese wrestlers I saw come over to this country, I would have to rate Sumo Hera right up there at the top. Things that he does, mechanical-wise, those kicks, those karate are so fast, these guys didn't even know what was hitting them.
Well, Parker was working over Sumo Hera outside the ring. And Wright now, firing his man off the ropes, misses the clothesline. Oh, Sumo Hera explodes with that flying drop kick. In comes Len Crazy Horse. And now he's going to town against the lieutenant.
Well, he's taking it right to them now. He's chopping them, you know, like all Indian wrestlers do. But I'll tell you, he got into a bad corner, and I certainly wouldn't want.
Oh, what a move! What a move! Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker was vaulted, and now the two of them teaming up. Oh, they dropped down onto their knees. This should be it. 1, 2, 3. It is all over.
James, this is what you call teamwork. If these guys continue on to work as a team like they've done here today, they're going to be successful. This was strictly a tag team win. They got them both to be thankful for. Everything they did was together, and that's the signs of a great team, James.
The White Knights emerged victorious. Now let's have Bulldog Bob head up into the ring and have a little chat with him.
I've watched you as a team for the last 2 weeks. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, Sergeant James Earl Wright.
That's lieutenant.
Hey,
Lieutenant, you not sergeant. Right. I'm a lieutenant.
Excuse me.
That's right.
Accept my apology. I didn't mean to do it. Lieutenant. This
He's
you guys.
Sergeant. Lieutenant. Get your stuff straight around
Sergeant Lieutenant. Would you accept my apology? I'm on your
side. If you
side.
write it down on a slip of paper, I might.
Okay. You guys look very, very impressive the last couple weeks. What are you guys doing up here? What do you want?
Well, I tell you what we're doing on here. We got kind of suspended from the state of Georgia because we handled our prisoners a little too rough. So what? I can't help if he falls down a flight of stairs. If he can't walk, can I help it?
We handle things the proper way, and the proper way is the way the White Knights want to do it. We do what we want to do, when we do it, and how we want to do it, and nobody else tells us different.
Okay, what about the tag team championship? Would you like to hold that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we want them international belts in the worst way to prove that we are the superior beings from the United States. We can defeat anybody in the world.
Well, there's one thing I must say. If you want the tag team belts, you're looking at one half of the tag team champions, me and Kerry Brown. I don't want to surprise you, but if you guys happen to get in the ring with us, it could be a great battle.
Yes, it could.
Let me tell you something, old man. You better go to the gym and get some of that weight off. We'll show you how it's done Georgia style. We hear you're from Kansas City. Is that true?
You'll get a lot more than you bargained for. If you want to talk on this television program, you're going to listen to me, and if you don't listen to me, I'll cut you off the air like I'm going to do right now.
Last time the
Let's go.
told us that.
Lethal Larry Cameron, undefeated North American heavyweight champ, a man who wants to be referred to in only one way, and that is the world's greatest athlete. However, despite the fact that you might be the world's greatest athlete, there's a man named Top Gun Ricky Rice who says he's going to cut you right down to size.
You know, Jim Davis, you know, I'm about fed up to here with that Ricky Rice mumbo jumbo. Ricky Rice, the contract has been signed. Your name is on the dotted line, and now you is all mine. You running around here saying I'm annoying you. I'm scared to give you a title shot. But Ricky Rice, you take a real good look at me. I fear no man. And Ricky Rice, as far as I'm concerned, you don't even mount to on the man list. You come up here, you don't even pronounce my name right. You got all the morons hollering Elsa Cameron. Ricky Rice, you know as well as I know that I am Lethal Cameron, and I'm in the best shape of my life. I up my intensity, my training, my diet, my sleep, my rest. Ricky Rice, you are messing with a man that is possessed. This belt is mine, and there's no little snotty-nosed blonde moron can even attempt to take away from me what I worked so hard for. I spent 6 months up here in this God-forgetting, seem like it ain't gonna never get summertime land, Jim Davis, and to let some stupid moron that I embarrassed in Chicago, that I cracked his neck, that I put out professional wrestling for 6 months, and I snuggle and I smile every time I thought about you taking your meal through a straw, Ricky Rice. But there's the old saying goes, that history has the way of repeating itself. And I promise you, when you step in the ring with me, history will repeat itself, because I will finish you once and for all. And this time, it won't be only your neck that be cracking, Ricky Rice. It'll be every bone in your entire body. And damn Jim Davis, and I want all the rest of the morons out here to take a real good look at me. Look into these eyes. I am not playing, Ricky Rice. You have made one mistake. You had your chance. You had your chance to stay out of my past. But you decided to cross my path again. And I promise you, you can put your head between your legs and kiss your you-know-what goodbye, because I promise you, I will destroy you.
You talked about an old saying. You talked about history repeating itself. He talks about an old saying, too. Revenge is sweet. You put him in the hospital, he wants revenge.
You know, Jim Davis, if I didn't know no better, I would think that you was pulling for Ricky Rice. But you just like all the rest of these morons up here in this frozen ice land. Won't you try unthawing your brain and take a real good look at me? I'm not playing fun and games. I'm not out here for my health. I'm out here to keep this belt, Ricky Rice, and I swear to the Almighty, if you step in the ring with me, I won't be responsible for what happened to you. And you can tell Ricky Rice and all the rest of you morons there. And you know, Jim Davis, I'm developing a real dislike for you, too.
Lovely. Lovely. We'll be right back, right after this.
Against the Dynamite Kid. I know down deep that you've got a lot to know about Dynamite Kid. And just clue me in, what do you think of the big split with him and Davy Boy Smith?
Well, I think there's no doubt about it. The British Bulldogs were perhaps the world's best tag team. They were, in fact, world champions for many years. Perhaps the best recognized tag team in the entire world. They were known and loved in Japan, all over the Far East, in North America, in Europe, in Africa, throughout Asia. The British Bulldogs, of course, are no more. And how do I feel about the split? Like all wrestling fans, I'm saddened by it. I am disappointed. And yet, I cannot help but look forward to the dogfight of the decade when these two warriors, Davy Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid, meet as enemies in the ring.
Well, you know, I do a lot of traveling, James. I go all over the world. There's not a place that I haven't been that I don't hear about the big fight that's going to take place in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. All they can talk about is Dynamite Kid and Davy Boy Smith, a dogfight of the decade. And they all want to know the same thing that Ed Whalen and Jim says, Brown, you're responsible. I want the people to know out there that I wasn't responsible for the breakup of the British Bulldogs. It was Davy Boy Smith.
And if you believe that, we have some real estate in the Everglades swamplands available for a very good price. Dynamite Kid right now dominating this bout. Ron Ritchie has been unable to really get underway. He's been outside on the concrete thanks to some maneuvering by the Dynamite Kid and by his manager, the Weasel. But Dynamite Kid looking in fine form. 1, 2, about 2.5.
To me, it's got to be the great matchup of all time, you know. They talk about professional wrestling around the world, Ed, or Jim. I'll tell you, this has got to be a matchup that everybody in the country will want to see. And they tell me that the tickets are going in groves. Thousands are going every day. So we know it's going to be a big sellout. So you people, get your tickets early, because there's not going to be any left to see this great match. And I'd fly around the world to see it. That's how much I think of it. And I tell you, talking to both of them, interviewing both of them over the last 3 or 4 months, I'd say the match to me would be a toss-up. But right now, I'm going to lean out a little bit and lead towards Dynamite Kid, because I think he's got so much on the ball.
Well, Dynamite Kid has great speed and great toughness. Just gave that big elbow to Ritchie. Again, just a 2 count. Ritchie gets his foot up on the rope. But you have to give Dynamite Kid perhaps the edge in speed. You have to give Davy Boy Smith the edge in strength. And I'd say it's about a draw in terms of toughness and courage. Right now, Ritchie making a spirited comeback, and he's got the Dynamite Kid in a little bit of trouble. You didn't expect to see Ritchie come back, did you, Bulldog?
Well, I expected him because I've been watching him now for the last 4 or 5 months. He's a great man after 7 or 8 minutes. When you think he's done, he's just starting. Ritchie's a great competitor. And listen, even if he goes on to lose to the Dynamite Kid, there's certainly no disgrace in his part, because Dynamite Kid has beaten them all.
Oh, that big headbutt. Ritchie might not get out of this one, too. Oh, he just gets out. David Putnam, the referee, had his hand only inches from the canvas for that 3rd count, but somehow Ritchie managed to pull out of that pin. Dynamite Kid, 1, 2, again, about a 2.5 count.
Well, he's taken 2 or 3 counts in a row of 2 counts. So we know now down deep that Ritchie's in big trouble. So if he's going to come out of it, he better come out of it real quick, or this match is goodbye.
Oh, caught him with a knee coming off the 2nd rope. Goes for the pin again, 2. Again, a 2 count, but you're right. Ritchie has been taking a lot of punishment. Abu Weasel pacing around at ringside. He wants a quicker count. Here comes Ritchie. Richie fighting back. This man has courage, drives the head of Dynamite Kid into that turnbuckle, and Ron Richie has made a glorious comeback. Now, if he can just keep this momentum.
Keep it going, and don't look at me and you. And don't look at the wrestling fans. This is where he's making his mistake. If he's got a chance to upset the greatest wrestling machine in the world, like Dynamite Kid, stay right after him. Because if you don't, hey, it'll be over.
He's got him down 2. Just a 2 count, very close, however. Ron Richie has made a spirited comeback, and what looked like it could be an easy win for Dynamite Kid is turning into quite a bout. There's a power slam, Richie on top, 2. Again, just a 2 count, both wrestlers showing amazing courage.
Now he's going up to the top rope, taking too much time. And see this now, this is what happens when you take too much time.
And he did make that fatal mistake. Dynamite Kid, one of the hardest heads in pro wrestling, uses that big headbutt, and now he's going to fly.
See how fast he gets up there? He's just like lightning, you see, and he always gets his spot.
It is all over. That flying headbutt caught Ron Richie in the heart area. Right off the top rope, Dynamite Kid looking impressive once again. He is primed for the dogfight of the decade.
Well, Jim, all I can tell you is it was a great warm-up match. It was a great match. Richie made a couple mistakes. He paid for it dearly, but you can't take nothing away from that Dynamite Kid. He's a wrestling machine to me, and he's going to prove it in Calgary next month.
He is a good one. Now, Bulldog Bob is going to head up into the ring and have a chat with the Dynamite Kid.
Dynamite Kid. You know, been watching him for the last 5, 6, 7 years. I saw them come and go. Dynamite, I reported him on the air. You remind me of a lot of a great wrestling machine. And the wrestling machine will take place at the Corral next month when you get your long-awaited battle. Like I said, I pick you to beat Davey Boy Smith because I really do think that you're the better man.
That's right, Mr. Brown. Davey Boy Smith, the contract is signed and it's going down. One-on-one, Smith. You're going to get in a squad circle with the best technical wrestler in the world today. I just took it easy on Ron Richie, but it only took me 3, maybe 4 minutes to put him away. It's going to take me, maybe, if you're lucky, 5 minutes before I break you in 2 pieces. Smith, Bulldog fight of the decade. I'll break you directly in 2. You take that from me to you and all the morons watching.
You know, Dynamite, getting back to, they call you cocky, smart aleck, and they call you all the names in the world. But let me remind them one thing. They don't understand anything you say, you back it up. And boy, what a machine you are. You're a great hero to professional wrestling. And I'll tell you one thing, and I'd fly around the world to see that match.
That's right. One more thing, Smith. I'm a man of action, not words.
It's coming, and don't miss it when it comes to Calgary next month.
3 great wrestlers with a lot on their minds. Ricky Rice, he's thinking about a future bout with Lethal Larry Cameron. Chris Benoit, he's thinking about the British bruiser Johnny Smith. And I know that Davey Boy Smith is thinking about the dog fight of the decade with the Dynamite Kid. But first, you have another thing to consider, and that is tonight's main event, 6-man tag team action. Ricky?
Absolutely. That's the name of the game tonight, 6-man tag. I can't think of 2 better partners that I'd rather have on my side. You know, Ethel Cameron's been ducking me with tag matches. He's been assaulting me at the ringside. But I'll tell you what, the IWA has assured me that I will face Larry Cameron sometime in the ring, one-on-one. And it doesn't matter if it's wrestling style, Cameron. I just as soon brawl with you because that's what you did to me. You left me in a hospital bed for 6 months. Well, Cameron, when it gets time to get it down and dirty, baby, I can brawl with the best of them.
Chris Benoit?
Johnny Smith, I'd just like to say one word of warning to you. I hope that you've been
spent your time during the suspension in the gym training and getting ready, because I've been getting ready for you. And when I step into this ring with you, Johnny Smith, I'm going to settle this feud once and for all.
Okay, but the six-man tag, you can't be overlooking that.
Bob Blount and Kerry Brown, you put out my partner, Biff Wellington. I've got a score to settle with you two, and it's going to be settled tonight.
Okay, and Davy Boy.
You know, Bob, you know, Jim Davis, this is just like a little stepping stone for me. This is just for a little playtime for me, because the Dynamite Kid won't step in the ring with me. So tonight, I said to Ricky Rice and Chris Benoit, I said, I'll be your tag team partner tonight because I want to be in the ring. I want to get more endurance, more experience. So I want to step in the ring with Dynamite Kid. And when you've got Bob Brown here making comments every time I get out of the ring, he says, why don't you step in the ring with me, Bob Brown? Well, I'll step in the ring tonight with Bob Brown and his big fat son, pig, Kerry Brown.
It'll be a dandy six-man tag team action. That'll be coming up next, our main event. Stay tuned. Be a dandy. The referee, Jürgen Herman, inspecting the wrestlers, making sure everything is copacetic. And he signals for the bell to be rung. Timekeeper Billy Hunt rings the bell. And we are set. Our main event. A little chant in the corner by the team of Brown, and Cameron. Sounded sort of like the noise that the crowd used to make when our old friend, the Cuban Assassin, would enter the ring. About that time, people would ask him if he wanted a banana. Now, here we go. It's Benoit in the ring against Cameron, a quick tag. And I'm not surprised. Ricky Rice, he wants a piece of Cameron, and he wants it now. You know the contract has been signed between these two men. They will be appearing in an individual bout on that super card, which will feature the dogfight of the decade in the Corral in Calgary on the 21st. So right now, it is Bulldog Bob Brown in there against Ricky Rice, and Bulldog Bob makes the tag. It's the old nobody wants to dance. In comes Kerry Brown, heaviest man of all the participants in this six-man tag at 275. And they finally meet in mid-ring. Brown pushing Rice over onto the ropes. Will we get a clean break? No way. Brown wailing away at Rice. And you can hear the chant from the crowd saying, "Daddy's girl, Daddy's girl." They don't like Kerry Brown. Look at that move. Whoa, what an acrobat. Incredible high-flying talents. Ricky Rice with that high-flying drop kick puts all three men outside of the ring. Ricky Rice, a man possessed. And Bulldog Bob Brown is mouthing off at Ricky Rice. But you're not going to defeat this team of Benoit, Rice, and Davy Boy Smith with your mouth. You're going to have to use some wrestling talent inside that squared circle. Bulldog Bob Brown reluctantly entering the ring against Ricky Rice. Davy Boy Smith took a little slap at Bulldog. It was interesting earlier on to see Bulldog Bob Brown challenging Davy Boy Smith to get into the ring. Davy Boy, of course, accepted the invitation, climbed into the ring, looked around, and Bulldog had fled the premises. He sprinted for the door, faster than I think I've ever seen him move, except perhaps for a free lunch. Bulldog vacates the ring rather quickly, and in again comes Kerry Brown. Getting a little fatherly advice from Papa Bear Brown. Davy Boy Smith, I would assume, would be running out of patience. He is waiting for any of them to enter the ring. And here we are. This is the matchup that Ricky Rice wants. He's in there against Larry Cameron, and Cameron is getting out of the ring. Nobody wants to dance. Stu Hart, it seems like the team of Bulldog Bob Brown, Lethal Larry Cameron, and Kerry Brown don't want to fight.
No, this young
Ricky Rice.
Ricky Rice is giving them both, all three of them, all they can handle. He's pretty handy with the drop kicks, isn't he?
He's got a great flying drop kick. Oh, ho, 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 ho. There's that flying drop kick again. Bulldog Bob Brown.
You know, Davy Boy and Benoit and this young Ricky Rice, they're gonna do a pretty good job of. I don't think these boys are able to handle those.
Well, I would think so. Stu Hart, of course, always providing the best wrestling talents, and when you look in one corner and you see Chris Benoit, Ricky Rice, and Davy Boy Smith, you see three of the top performers in all of professional wrestling. Right now, it's Benoit pouring on the pressure onto the arm of Kerry Brown. Kerry Brown not looking like a pit bull as he gets slammed into that corner. Gee, I'll tell you what, that Chris Benoit, I saw him when he first came into the ring just 2 or 3 years ago. He has improved dramatically, and of course, he holds that Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title. He has emerged as a great wrestler. You must be very proud of him, Stu.
He's one of the finest wrestlers in the business right now, and you can rate him up there with Davy Boy and young Owen. My son there is a pretty talented boy.
Owen Hart, very talented wrestler. Sad day for this territory when Owen Hart decided to head for the bright lights of New York City, but we can hope to see him back here one day. In comes Lethal Larry Cameron, and look at that, Benoit taking control. In comes Ricky Rice, and again, Cameron is ducking Rice. He doesn't want any part of Ricky Rice. I can't understand it. Cameron brags about how he put Ricky Rice in the hospital, Stu, and yet when Ricky Rice gets into that ring, Cameron gets out.
Looks like Rice has got the Indian sign on him.
I think that, oh, look at that. Kerry Brown got slapped in the face by his delightful daddy. And Ricky Rice now pouring the pressure onto Bob Brown. I think Bob Brown would rather be sitting here beside you at the announcer's table right now.
He's overstepped his bounds right now, and he might find these young kids giving him a pretty good mauling.
Well, he's getting a good mauling from Ricky Rice, and Davy Boy Smith laid a good little smack on the head of Bulldog Bob Brown when Bulldog got a little too close to the corner. There's a handful of hair by Bulldog Bob Brown, and I'm not surprised to see that dirty tactic from the Bulldog.
Big old Kerry's one of the he's one of the toughest boys in the business if he just watched himself.
Kerry Brown is a tough, big customer, and right now he's laying some punishment on Ricky Rice. Goes over, makes a tag, and Cameron now is going to come in with Ricky Rice now that he sees Rice in trouble. Rice was being held by Kerry Brown as Cameron started wailing away at him. He's still pounding him around the ring. And he's hooting and hollering, telling the crowd, I'm number one.
He was voted the Rookie of the Year several years ago in football up here.
Larry Cameron, yeah, he's a great all-around athlete. A very solid athlete.
I think he played with Vancouver and Ottawa both, didn't he?
That's true. He was a star, a standout linebacker with both BC Lions and with the Ottawa Rough Riders. Now he's turned his hand to professional wrestling, and he is a champion. Bulldog Bob Brown gouging at the eyes and neck of Ricky Rice.
Brown, you're no good.
Stu Hart calling up into the ring saying, Brown, you're no good. And Bulldog Bob Brown does love to cheat, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, he's getting by on his wits right now.
Now it's Big Kerry Brown in. Ricky Rice has been in that ring a long time. He has to make a tag. In comes Lethal Larry Cameron, and with Kerry Brown holding Ricky Rice, Cameron goes after his opponent. Ricky Rice comes off the ropes. Oh, he catches Cameron with a big kick. You like this, Ricky Rice?
Yeah, I'm very fond of him. He's gonna be one of the best young baby faces in the business.
He's a good one. He is a good one, and he's a clean wrestler. There's that big clothesline by Benoit. Benoit with a flying drop kick. Bulldog Bob Brown goes down, as does Kerry Brown. Benoit exploding in the ring. Big elbow. Here's a pin. 1, 2, just the 2 count. Benoit can handle the big men.
Oh, yes. He's a powerful young boy, that.
Very impressive wrestler, Chris Benoit. One time came very close to holding 3 championship belts. He held the tag team belts with Biff Wellington as the Young Bloods. He still holds that Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title bout, and he almost defeated Cameron for that heavyweight title, except for interference by Rotten Ron Starr. Over the top rope goes Chris Benoit. The referee was distracted. That would be an automatic disqualification if the referee had seen Benoit go over that top rope.
Jocko was too busy watching the other baby faces.
I don't know about Jürgen Herman. Some people say he's blind in one eye and cannot see out of the other. Benoit is being bushwhacked outside the ring by Lethal Larry Cameron, who has no business being over there. Bulldog Bob Brown now makes a tag with Kerry Brown, but Benoit has to recover, has to get himself together off that concrete. Chris Benoit badly hurt, but this young man has a lot of courage.
Oh, yes, he has.
I've seen him hurt. I've seen him stunned, but he always seems to come back.
Big Davey Boy hasn't been in there much yet, has he?
No, he has not. I'd like to see Davey Boy get in the ring right now because Benoit is in trouble. Ricky Rice has been in the ring a long time. Look at this move. Sunset flip. 1. Benoit getting pulled over into that corner. And Bulldog Bob Brown does his usual cowardly thing, attacking his opponent while the opponent is being held. In this case, his opponent is Chris Benoit, and Benoit is getting beaten up pretty badly. He has to make a tag. He just ran into that size 12 boot of Lethal Larry Cameron. Benoit in all kinds of trouble. And he gets thrown over the top rope once again. The referee, once again, was distracted and didn't see Benoit getting thrown over the top rope, landing on the concrete. That is a real punishing type of fall, landing on the concrete like that.
Well, that's a long ways down there. That's about 10 feet by the time you get over those posts are 9 feet from the floor to the top of them, so it's a pretty good fall.
And he's sent out flying onto that concrete, but once again, Benoit is picking himself up. He's got to get back into that ring to beat the count. And once he gets in that ring, he has to make a tag. Cameron now in control. He's going for a power slam. Oh, no, he's not. Shoulder breaker. In comes Bulldog Bob Brown. Big leg drop to the throat. And Bulldog mouthing off at his opponents. And while he's doing that, distracting the referee, Kerry Brown and Lethal Larry Cameron are pressing their boots into the throat area of Chris Benoit. No tag here, and yet Kerry Brown is in. The Browns never seem to play by the rules, do they, Stu?
They're pretty crafty, pretty crafty. That old Bob is a foxy old bum.
He is that. Right now, it's Benoit getting worked over in the corner by Bulldog Bob Brown and Lethal Larry Cameron. The fans are screaming, "We want a ref." And you cannot blame them. Benoit been taking all kinds of punishment, most of it because of illegal maneuvers. There's a 2 count, and he just escapes that pin. Cameron complaining to the referee about a slow count. There's that big bear hug. A lot of strength by Lethal Larry Cameron. Right, Stu?
Pretty powerful pair of arms on him, and
he does indeed. We have passed the 15-minute mark. This bout's slated for 1 fall with a 1-hour time limit. Our main and final event, 6-man tag team action. Benoit, Rice, and Davy Boy Smith against the Browns and Lethal Larry Cameron. Benoit hung out to dry. Oh, and look at this. Kerry Brown holding him while he's getting pounded by Bulldog Bob Brown, and that gets a yellow card. That's the first warning. 1 more yellow card, and then it's a red card and disqualification. Bulldog Bob Brown going up the top rope. He's taken a long time. Too long. Too long. Whoa! Both Bulldog Bob Brown and Chris Benoit are stunned. But Bulldog makes the tag. In comes Cameron. And before Benoit can make that tag, he intercepts him. And that's got to be a frightening sight, seeing that big 260-pounder when you're totally exhausted and beaten. Seeing him intercept you before you can make the tag. We have to see Davy Boy Smith in that ring.
We're just waiting to see him in there. I have a feeling that Davy would have all 3 of them flying pretty good.
Here he comes, Davy Boy Smith. Kerry Brown off the ropes, up and over he goes. Davy Boy taking control now. Here's the big suplex. Wham!
That should finish him off.
But Bulldog Bob Brown comes in and interferes.
Come on, Davy, let's go.
Words of encouragement from Stu Hart. Again, there's interference by Bulldog Bob Brown.
Come on, Davy.
That's the 2nd yellow card. Here comes the power slam. That's 275 pounds he's lifting. Wham! This could be it. 1, 2, no. Cameron gets in. Now they're all in there. Everybody's fighting. Everybody. The referee has lost control. Oh, the Browns meet at mid-ring. They're both down. And Rice puts Cameron down. Look at this. Bulldog Bob Brown being hoisted by Davy Boy Smith. Slammed him down to the canvas.
If he'd gone all the way with Brown there, he'd have killed him, I think.
And we wouldn't want that. I think they're leaving the ring. The Browns are leaving the ring. He's counting them out. He's at 8, 9, 10. It is all over. What do you think of that? They just walked away.
I think that's disgusting. I'd like to see this thing finished. And Big Brown and Big Daddy Brown and his boy there
Well, I would have liked to have seen it finish too. But it was a count out outside the ring, and as a result, the winners, Davey Boy Smith, Chris Benoit, and Ricky Rice. Bulldog Bob Brown, Kerry the Pitbull Brown, and it's Lethal Larry Cameron. Strange ending to our main event. You guys ran and hid.
Ran and hid? We had to run and hide from the people because they wanted to lynch us for the beating we laid on these people. I'll tell you what, Davey Boy Smith, there is no way you're going to put your hands on this man unless you go through me. So I'm going to tell you something right now. Next week, you're in for the beating of your life. And I'm sure there ain't going to be much left for the Dynamite Kid when I get finished with you, punk. Don't you ever forget the lesson I'm going to teach you next week.
Lethal Larry Cameron, you can't be very proud of yourself after that main event.
What in the hell are you talking about, Jim Davis? Proud. You can say what you want about me, Terry Brown, and Bob Brown, but look who holding the gold, baby. Look who holding the gold. And as far as Ricky Wright, you going to go down just like everybody else. There's an old saying, how do the ducks go to the water? One at a time. And Ricky Wright, your number's up. You in line. You is next. You think you man enough to put this belt around your waist? You think you man enough? You think you got enough? Got what it takes to be called the North America Heavyweight Champion? Well, take a good look, Ricky Wright. And when you get up in the morning, you ask yourself, and you be truthful to yourself. You look at yourself and say, I'm ready to contend with the lethal one. And I'm sure you'll find the answer right there in the mirror, Ricky Wright. So you take a good look. You take a real good look. Hold this belt for me, Bobby. You take a real good look, Ricky Wright. What you're looking at is the lethal body, and the lethal body is gonna run all over you.
Bob Brown, you must be winded from running away.
Well, I didn't run away. You know, that's trash. You know, we worked together. Well, you just think that we came into the six-man tag team and say, my name is Lethal Larry Cameron, my name is Cameron. Hey, we've been together a week. We knew ourselves down pat. But let's talk about the Northwest Territories. Let's talk about Hay River and Yellowknife. Oh, what a tragedy that took place out there. What? You know, I really feel sorry for the Hart family. I feel sorry for Bruce. But, you know, he stuck his nose into big man's business. And believe me, wrestling is big man's business. You're looking at 3 champions, and when Bruce Hart stuck his nose in, Bruce Hart got hurt. God only knows when he's going to come back. But after what he got, I doubt if he'd be back in 10 years. But we're going to go on as if nothing happened, and next time somebody sticks their nose in our business, the same thing that's going to happen to them. There's great tag teams. Ricky Rice was riding high. Of course, he had Bruce Hart on his side. They're no more together. The Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith. Dynamite Kid got smart and pushed the bum aside because he held his coattails for 8 years, and there's no tag teams right now. So I just imagine, Kerry, when we go home to Kansas City next week, just take these belts with us and put them on the coffee table where the rest of the 1,000 of them are.
That's right, we could do that.
Okay.
We could do that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Davey Boy Smith, Chris Benoit, and Ricky Rice. Got to be almost disappointing to win when the other team runs away.
Well, you know, it's always that kind of tactics. You always try to run away, Jim Davis. But Lethal Larry Cameron has not seen the last of Ricky Rice because Ricky Rice is going to chase him all over the pavilion, all over Calgary he has to. But Kerry Brown came out and made a statement and said that nobody treats his father that way. Well, if he doesn't like the way I treat his father, I'll let Kerry Brown come in and let him see how he can face up against me, Jim Davis.
Okay. Chris Benoit?
Johnny Smith, I'd like to tell you it's been a long time coming. I've got an open contract. Why don't you sign it? Why do you keep going into tags with the Dynamite Kid? I want a singles match with you, Smith. I've been training. I've been working out. I'm ready for you.
And a last word from Ricky Rice.
You know, Ethel Cameron, we saw how you ran for me all night in the tag matches. Well, I've got some good news for all the fans out there. The IWA, I've been talking to the IWA, and they promised me that in the upcoming future I will have a match with Larry Cameron face to face.
We'd love to see it, and we'll be back with you next week. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of TSN Wrestling. Bye-bye now.
The AWA